Little poem, spoken word for the people. I wrote this poem and it embodies not so much my hatred, but hatred as you will come to know it so intimately in prison. It kind of sums up the totality of people's position on hatred, the things that they hate, and how prevalent and pernicious and pervasive hatred is and steadily becomes through incarceration. It's a cesspool of hatred. And so I put all these things together and I did it in such a way so that people can understand how horrible it is in prison, and they can take a personal position to try to offset some of the hatred. If you have a family member in prison, then understand that this is what they're being confronted with. And without question, this is a lot of what they're ingesting. And if they're not careful, if the grace of God is not abundant in their life, if they're not taking action against this invasion of hatred in their life, then it will corrupt them in such a way as to hinder them from being positively productive in their incarceration and from growing in love, which is that is the prime way of offsetting hatred, love. There's a quote by Dr. Martin Luther King, and I believe that he was quoting someone else, but it said that like begets like, or hatred begets even greater hatred. If you position yourself in hate, then consequently you will find that you will reap the benefits or the consequences of hate. Without question, if you position yourself in anything, consequently you will also reap the benefits or the consequences, negative or positive, of that thing. And hatred is horrible. It destroys everything that it touches in increments, gradually, or all at once as a great destructive force. So I'm going to share this with you. I'm shared with you, but I want you to understand again. I want to premise it with this. There are some offensive things or things that can be construed as offensive to certain people. And that's what hatred does. It always offends. It always hurts. It always puts us at hostility with other people. Whereas love, it does the reverse. Even if I have a position in life that is not particularly agreeable to your position in life, that does not mean that I have to be hostile towards you or to engage you in such a negative way. Jesus Christ came across so many people. We're talking about a holy man, a righteous man, a pure man. Whether you believe this or not, a man who embodied the entirety of who God is. And God is love. So his whole approach to life was love. I'm going to speak to you from love. I'm going to engage you from love. I'm going to embrace you with love. Everything, love, love, love. Everything. As an interior, intrinsic motivation, all the way to the exterior in everything that you do. So hatred, because this is the focus right now, as it is expressed, embodied, and so prevalent in prison. Please don't take offense at this. Just take it with as they say, a grain of salt. Because this is what is going on, and these are the things that men have to deal with. And okay, I'm just going to leave it like that. The poem is called Hatred Happening. There is a hatred within me that burns quite fiercely, vicious and relentless in its commitment to engage me in conflict. And though I resist with great strength, I can't stifle it, and no love can rival it. My mind is the furnace where it blazes its purpose, a senseless and worthless diatribe of curses, and it only worsens when I attempt to ignore where the hurt is. For certain, this emotional perversion binds me inwardly, and all that one may see outwardly is only hatred happening, bringing to surface all manner of murderous tendencies, and preferably the heresies are more appealing to me because turning the other cheek and loving my enemies is a complicated thing, virtually an impossibility when hatred is happening. Oh, that Melchizedek would bless me as he did Abraham after the slaughter of the kings. Oh, as Samson might I, with a mighty blow, lay low the pride of the Philistines. Or as David might I drop every Goliath-like giant who refuses to be compliant. Or might I bloody my sword like the angel of the Lord, call down fire and brimstone upon Sodom and Gomorrah? You know, Massachusetts, Vermont, California, gay rights, gay pride, gay gals, gay guys, and every false prophet who supports them, every gay priest who adores them, and every church who plays the whore for them. I burn sore for them, to wage war on them. Spare not the rod and let pain pour on them, and so much more on them. But hatred is not holy. That's what they told me. There is nothing righteous about hatred happening, yet I do not know how to wage war in love. It's a paradox, like peace in the midst of chaos, a thing that should be, but it seems that it ought not. So my inner turmoil rises to a boil, and the pressure builds in the kettle of my will, and my body shakes from this imminent outbreak, and I plead forgiveness of this debilitating sickness. Hatred happening to me. Oh, the putrid stench of the steam that it vents, like that folkloric banshee bitch who screams bloody vengeance, a muddy, poisonous concoction of wickedness, pale, saggy tits that drip the milk of nonsense, like government, supremacist, propagandist bullshit, like the greedy and gluttonous intents of the rich, like fancy foolishness and glorified gibberish, like FDLE, DOC, part 1 of the trilogy, chapter 33. It infuriates me because I know what it's designed to be and what it's designed to do. Protecting society is only a ruse. Money is the priority. Cash cows in blue. So who are you to wag your head at me? Because I know you do not understand the pain of being a black man in prison, in a prison where the warden is the grand wizard of the motherfucking Ku Klux Klan. Damn, Sam. I didn't know you felt like that. But homie, you would too if you knew that they are licensed to disrespect when as yet they demand respect. Dispossess every dream and means of success by the way they distress the emotions and detest the intellect of men like me who no longer expect a nevertheless or a nonetheless. I surrender. I accept. It is what it is. Although I try to disregard what's clearly evident, turn my eyes to the signs of the end times, which are increasingly more prevalent, whereas denial tends to sustain me for a while, yet it despises my false smiles and invokes harsh trials, and so I find hatred is steadily happening. Not a figment of the imagination, but an epidemic, most realistic. It's blatant. How we languish in this modernized enslavement the anguish and the miseries of the penitentiary where penitence is irrelevant, and all this is evidenced by the midnight cries of the spiritually, mentally, physically bruised, by the lit rip and the thick whip that momentarily soothes, by the cesspools of uniformed fools who get away with breaking their own damn rules. But, and this is my favorite, based on the officer's statement, we win, you lose. Cuff up, shut the fuck up, lock his dumb ass up. You call my officer a liar. Damn right, you swine. A liar and a coward. That is why at this hour, when the hope of being free dwindles away, I believe that hatred happening is a man's only reprieve to snap like a broken prophylactic and feel the warmth and wetness of anger unprotected, unable to contain the rage as it reaches its climactic eruption, explosion, and orgasmic retaliation against everything and everyone that induces hatred.